What's up, everybody? As you come on, let me know where you're coming from. My name's Brandon Hayes. Many of you guys have met me before, many of you haven't yet. And we're going to have a special guest coming on in just a sec. And as soon as he does come on, I'm going to add him on here, Mr. Johnny Jumpman. What a cool name, man. Johnny Jumpman. I was telling him from the moment that I saw his name for the very first time, I was like, man, that's such a cool name. And I had to ask him today. I said, is Jumpman, is that really your last name? And he and I have been communicating back and forth for quite some time now. But I actually didn't know whether or not that was really his last name. So I'll let him answer that when he comes on here in just a second. All right, looks like Natalie is on here. What's up, Natalie? And we got Johnny Jumpman. Let me add you real quick, my friend. You should have a little button pop up. You can just hit join, and so hopefully it'll come on in just 2 seconds. And let's see. All right, cool. Let me make sure that he's on here. Give me just a second, guys. Still inviting, still inviting. All right, I just sent you an invite. Again, Johnny Jumpman, hop on here if you can. What's up, Matthew? What's up, David Smith? All the way in Scotland, I believe, if I'm correct. Johnny Jumpman, what's up, my friend?
I'm good, bro. I didn't. I have my little screen rotation off, and it's telling me to rotate the screen, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, you got to have it sideways. All right, cool. So, man, it was good chatting with you earlier, and I'm excited about this interview. Of course, we're here in the game of network, and I see lots of familiar faces popping on here. I see a lot of people that I haven't met yet. So the cool thing about network marketing is we get to meet people from all over the world, from different backgrounds, different skill sets, people that have all kinds of value to add. And that's my favorite thing about this group is that there's so much different perspective, so much value that's added every single day. And that's why I come to this group every single day, and I'm always looking at the posts. I'm always engaging in the content. So I think this interview is going to be fun, man. It's going to be exciting because a lot of people, they're wondering, what do I do when it comes to social media? And this is the analogy that I give sometimes when I'm talking to people, about social media and building their network marketing business on social media. You see, there are tools in, let's say we were going to build a house. And the traditional way, 100 years ago, my grandparents or my great-grandparents, they would have only had certain tools to build that house, right? They could do it. They might have a hammer and nail, right? So they'd have the nail and they would hammer it in, right? So as time progressed, however, more tools became available that would allow you to build that same house in more effectively, more efficiently, right? For example, the nail gun, the pneumatic nail gun, came out. And so, but here's the thing about the nail gun, and this is true about the hammer and nails as well. The nail gun can be very effective and very efficient. It's a tool. You can build a beautiful home. You can build a beautiful house with that tool. However, if you don't read the manual, if you've never used a nail gun before, if you didn't have someone show you how to use the nail gun properly, you could end up shooting yourself in the foot and, having to go to the emergency room. So tools can be very constructive, meaning they can allow you to build something magnificent, build something beautiful. In the same token, tools can also be destructive if they're not used correctly. And man, you're one of the people that I see on social media that's really ahead of the curve. You've really you strive to always learn more, and that's the thing about one thing about social media is that it seems that it's a moving target. If you think
Sure.
you're going to learn it and you're going to know everything, well, you might as well give up now because it's always going to change. It's always going to grow and get better and bigger. And so we've always got to have our learning caps on and be students of the game, and that's what you are, man. And you're constantly learning this thing, and because of that, you've created a great social media presence on multiple platforms. You have created some awesome engagement. You've used it to build your business as well. And so that's what we want to talk about today. So if we could start by maybe, because I know, like I said, a lot of people don't know you, they don't know me, but today it's all about you. I want people to hear, who is Johnny Jumpman? Tell us a little bit about your background, your story, and how you got started in network marketing.
Sure. Well, thanks, Brandon. I do appreciate you for having me on. And I'm Johnny Jumpman, just so you guys know, because I heard Brandon a little bit beforehand. Jumpman is not my last name. That is a brand. I am huge on branding. It's just something that I've learned at a very, very young age. Branding kind of plays a role in attraction marketing, so the two go hand in hand. They're one and the next. And again, I do definitely appreciate everybody jumping on to enjoy it, and I hope you guys enjoy this. That's for sure. But as far as my background and getting started, network marketing, I've always kind of been doing network marketing. At a young age, I started off bartending at 18 years old. Was going through nursing school. I was actually playing college baseball at the time and was not very fortunate. Did not come from a substantial amount of money, so I had to work. Even having a full ride scholarship, you still have to work regardless. And so I learned, and this is when I really started to kind of focus on really putting value out there. As a male bartender, when you're surrounded by attractive girls, you got to do something to stand out. Very much so. So I was a flair bartender. I blew fire. I flipped bottles. I was basically a clown behind the bar. I always tell everybody I should be working for the circus. That's what I was doing. I was juggling stuff. Like that was me though. But I built a presence behind the bar, and I learned that by branding myself for what normal people don't do is what really makes you kind of stand out from the crowd. And when that happens, you build influence and people just want to come to see you. I went from someone that was ringing in low numbers to ringing in medium numbers to ringing in stupidly high numbers. So I looked at what I was doing, and when I made the transition over to network marketing, now Natalie and I have been involved in network marketing for 15 months. Natalie's my significant other. We do It Works. I'm a double diamond leader with the company, and we build through social media. That's how we build. Guys, there's many different ways that you can build a business. You can build face-to-face. You can build through parties. You can build one-on-ones. You can build through social media. There's a lot of great marketing tools out there, but social media is something, like Brandon was saying, you've constantly got to be adapting, because the way that social media works, every single time that there's an update in your phone, every single time that you're adding somebody, your algorithm is changing. I know we did kind of want to avoid that word, but it is constantly something that is changing. So we have to make sure that we're staying current, we're staying up to date with it. There's a lot of information out there, but the information has to be relevant, because what was working a year ago, what was working 2 years ago, what was working 6 months ago, what was working 3 months ago may not be working now. So we got started in network marketing, and same thing. We were kind of the route that we were going. We really wanted to focus on being different, standing out. Just like with the nightlife industry, you got to stand out if you want to make the most amount of money. To make the most money in network marketing, stand out. Look at what everybody else is doing that's a part of your company. Study the masses and do the opposite. And that's what we focused on. So for us, attraction marketing, branding, and really putting value out there has been the key for us. Building through social media and just focusing nonstop on putting as much value out there for people to kind of fall in love with us and fall in love with our brand. Because at the end of the day, people buy you before they buy a product. And that's one of I think the biggest thing that we've learned and that we've taken away from network marketing. And Natalie tried to rap. She tried to rap 15 months ago. I will tell you guys, and I know this is preached, when we say fortune is in the follow-up, we are a follow-up for a year. Consistency, okay? But this girl followed up. Natalie decided, you know what? She was doing a photo shoot. I'm going to try one of these raps. Throws a rap on. Fell in love with the company, and we were both working nightlife. I was actually managing a nightclub at the time. Had Natalie bartending for me and working. So we decided, you know what? Let's go ahead and we'll give it a shot. We were doing it on the side, and then 7 months after we started with network marketing, with It Works, we were able to retire and do this full time and just focus on this. And it really, stepping into the social media role, nightlife plays a huge role in social media. You're constantly posting, you're constantly putting your flyers out there, you're trying to get yourself out there as much as possible. So I've been doing social media for the last 15 years, and I do utilize Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. I utilize all three. I do also utilize YouTube as well. I don't do LinkedIn. I don't do Twitter. I feel like LinkedIn's more business professional. It's not really like a social media platform. It is, but it isn't. Very different. So I just kind of focus on those three. Those are my primary. And I mean, it's kind of been it's been nothing but a downhill effect from there. Once we really got focused on it, our business has grown dramatically. And I will tell you guys, I am so thankful for finding network marketing. It's changed me as a person. It really has in every single aspect that I can possibly think of. So, I mean, that's kind of our story in a short version.
Awesome, man. So let's do this. Let's dive into social media a little bit.
Okay.
Because because that's the focus of what we're talking about. So maybe just, if you could, give us a couple of sort of more abstract, more, removed from any particular platform, just some generic ideas when it comes to building your business, utilizing social media in general, because a lot of people, they're kind of in that stage right now where they've realized, okay, I was using a hammer and nail and that works, not discounting that. No, we're not saying that doesn't work, but now there's this other tool and a lot of people have started to pick it up. And some of them have shot themselves in the foot a couple of times, and they're like, "Ow, that hurts." That didn't work. And so, for people that are starting to learn how to use, or currently trying to use that tool, maybe give us just some generic or general tips when it comes to, learning how to use social media to grow your business.
Sure. I will definitely tell you guys, social media is social. You have to give in order to receive. If you're not giving, you're not going to be receiving. You need to focus on building relationships. That is the key to networking in general. The more relationships you build, the more rapport you build, the more influence you build. You've got to make sure that you're focusing as much as possible on building relationships. And just like in life, you want to make sure that you're keeping your pipeline full. You want to constantly be growing and adding to your market. You want to be constantly adding to your network. Now, is every single person that you add, are they a candidate to your product and to maybe your service? No, they're not. But there's nothing wrong, because again, every 6 months, people go through life changes. So right now, somebody may be happy in their current situation, happy with their current job. There's a promotion and they got a new manager. They absolutely hate their manager, and now they're looking for the next opportunity, and you're right there. And because maybe you didn't push your business onto them, you built a genuine relationship with this person. Now, all of a sudden, they're interested in joining your business because they like you. They like you as a person. They like that you didn't push your business. And I think that probably the biggest tip that I can give people is when it comes to social media marketing, you don't want to spam people. Okay. I'm going to tell you guys, I did not join social media 14 years ago. When I first originally made my Facebook, I did not join it to get spammed by a company. I didn't do it. At that point, this is what's crazy too, is at that point, you could spam your life away and everybody on your friends list was seeing it. Mm-hmm. But what happened is over time, again, and this is something I always like to tell everybody this. Facebook is very, very sophisticated in the aspect of, for Mark Zuckerberg, for having a platform, okay, that he does not charge. I can guarantee you, everybody that's on here, nobody paid $1 to start your Facebook account. Nobody paid $1. But Mark Zuckerberg is the 4th richest man in the world right now. He's the 2nd richest when it comes to the technology on the internet, behind Amazon. How did that happen? Facebook ads, advertisement, marketing. So if you are marketing a product and you're not paying for an ad or for advertisement, I'm going to tell you, you're not going to get seen. He does that purposely. He knows what he's doing. He's very, very intentional with his process and how he does things. So what we've got to do is we've got to focus on getting people to fall in love with us. And when we focus on getting people to fall in love with us, that's the key to really, really growing your business. Because again, people didn't join social media to get spammed. They didn't join social media to have people in their inbox nonstop, cold messaging them and sending them business propositions or shooting them information about a product. That's not what we joined for. We joined social media to be social, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I joined in college. It was drama. It was gossip. It was just everything under the world. We joined, but to keep up with the times and to talk to people and connect with people. And that's what it was. So we can't lose the basis of why we started social media, because we get involved in network marketing. We have to still keep it the same route. We've got to make sure that we're utilizing it to show people who we really are. If you guys, on my page, I post about the gym. I post about dinner, about date night. I post about life. I post about recipes that I'm cooking. I post about anything and everything. But what you've got to do is you've got to learn to incorporate your business and your products into your everyday lifestyle post. Because just like anything in life, I love you, babe. Just like anything in life, you've got to make sure that you're selling a story. You want to sell stories. People connect out of emotion. They don't connect out of logic. Okay, it's 80% out of emotion, 20% out of logic. People connect out of stories. If you're over here and you're pitching a product, you're pitching logic. You're not going to get the masses to sign out of that. So focusing on the relationships and focusing on emotion in stories is the key. And it's the same thing in real life. People fall in love with stories. So I think that's really the rundown, and it works for all three. It's a lot of the stuff that we talk about when it comes to kind of social media platforms, it's the same because Facebook owns Instagram. The algorithm is almost the same. So they want to make sure that you're utilizing and you're doing everything the correct way. And you're doing everything with that aspect of you're building relationships, you're being a real person, you're not really being like a robot, so to speak, you know? So.
Absolutely, man. So it would kind of be like what you're talking about. If I go back to my analogy, you think about whether you're using a hammer and nail, which is maybe the more old school or traditional way to build a network marketing business, which is quite frankly is how I built the majority of my business.
Sure.
But you wouldn't go, you wouldn't have a plank or a board and then take your hammer and throw your nail and then throw the hammer and hope it somehow nails that nail into the board. If
some Bruce Lee stuff.
Yeah, if that's your strategy, you're probably not going to build anything magnificent. You're not going to build a nice house. In the same respect, so it applies to social media too. You shouldn't expect to pick up the nail gun and just start, going like this with it and build a house, spraying nails everywhere. You're not going to build a house. So you've got to be somewhat intentional. You have to be aware and you have to be present about the proper ways to use both ways of doing the business. When I got started in network marketing, social media, it wasn't a thing yet, and so I started building the more traditional way, more like the hammer and nail. And when I started building, I used to tell people, you don't want to be the weirdo. In fact, people started hashtagging don't be a weirdo when I started my social media account because I was talking about that all the time. So what I mean by that is I wouldn't walk into a room full of 100 people that I know with a sign on my chest that has the name of my company and my face painted, the colors of my company and start screaming at the top of my lungs the name of the company. I wouldn't do that. That would be classified as being a weirdo. But see, people are doing that on social media, the equivalent of that. They're doing that by going into people's inboxes and cold messaging people like you talked about, not being genuine, not being authentic. They're doing it by constantly spamming other people's timelines and tagging people and stuff that is unrelated to them and they don't care about. And the reason is because they haven't been intentional. They haven't taken the time to slow down for a moment and think about how that looks or how that comes across. And exactly what you talked about, which is we didn't get on social media to get pitched on stuff constantly or spammed on stuff constantly. In the same way that you wouldn't go to a party hoping to get pitched or spammed or whatever in real life, in person, right? It's the same. Somebody that's wanting to build on Facebook.
Sure. I have 5 tips for you guys. Real quick, kind of run down through these. They're what I would kind of focus on doing on an every single day, on an everyday basis. I feel like they're the most crucial aspects that we need to focus on. And they're what I have done in order to really, really focus on growing my business. Guys, I will tell you this, regardless at the end of the day, when we're talking about networking, you need to always constantly be adding to your network and adding people and deleting people every day, no matter what social media platform you're utilizing. So if you're using Facebook, if you're using Instagram, if you're using Snapchat, Twitter, whatever it possibly is, LinkedIn, whatever it is, you need to make sure that you're constantly growing and you're adding people new to your network. That goes without saying. That's like just tip of all tips. You need to make sure that you're constantly, because you want to make sure that you have new people always seeing that content, no matter what it is. First thing I always like to talk about, Facebook Live, what we are doing right now. I will tell you guys, it is the most beneficial, crucial aspect of social media today. Facebook wants to market. They're going against 2 things. First off, Facebook is the second largest search engine behind Google. Okay, and it's also the number 2 biggest video platform behind YouTube. So their competition is Google and YouTube. All right. If they're doing, that's why they really went to the focus on utilizing Facebook Lives. Live is the ultimate interaction tool. You can ask all the time. And guys, by the way, if you've ever used Facebook Live, I want you to drop a 1 in the comments. That's interaction. Plain and simple. You should be interacting with your people. You should be interacting with your crowd. You should be interacting with your following, with your influence. It keeps people engaged. It keeps people interactive in the video. You should be asking for likes and loves. You should be asking for people to share. If you've got brand new people that jump onto your video, hey guys, by the way, if this is the first time that you've ever seen me, I want you to drop new in the comments because I would love to shoot you a message afterwards so that way we connect, build a little bit of a relationship. I can find out about you. I love to do stuff like this. I like to engage with my following, and Facebook Live allows you to engage better than anything else. We see all the time. We see people that make posts. Hey, if you could go anywhere on vacation, where would you go? Hey, that's great. There's nothing wrong with doing that every now and then. But if you're doing that every single day, there's no value behind that. Like, I'm going to be mad at you because I'm over here like, man, you want to be going on all kinds of vacations. But you want to make sure that you're engaging with your following. Engage with your influence of people, with your basically with your following, I should say. But that's the way to do it. It's the best way to do it. Utilize Facebook Lives is super crucial aspect. Second thing, voice messenger in Messenger, okay? It will help you save time. It is crucial. It puts your emotion. People can sense your energy. They can sense your enthusiasm. It's the same thing when you're making a post. You're going to get a better response, and it's more personable. People will feel more engaged to respond to you. This is something, too, that I've also learned. People pick up their Messenger. Guess what they're doing? They're screening messages. If you're sending a voice message, they have to listen. So your message is going to come across, plain and simple. They're going to have to open it. They're going to have to listen to it. And that's just the honest to God's truth. It is extremely beneficial. People sense your energy. People all the time tell me, they're like, bro, did you just drink like 6 Red Bulls? Like what? You've got so much energy. Like I can sense you like coming out of the microphone. But that's what people want. People join people that are energetic, that get them pumped up, that get them inspired. So using voice messenger is extremely beneficial. I will tell you, it has definitely been a game changer for my business. The next thing, posting with value. This is definitely the third tip. We were kind of touched on it earlier. Or I touched on it with the interaction post. Guys, take the time to write a post, okay? I always tell everyone, whenever I feel like I need to write a post is whenever I have no relationships left to be building, okay? Whenever I look at my comments, I don't look at my comments as, oh, this is a comment. Oh, this is a comment. This is a comment. You need to make sure you're always responding back to everybody and replying back to every single person that comments on your post. Now, whether you hit reply and comment or whether you reply and you tag them, it's the same. It works the same it works for you the same way, I should say. There's no difference in the weight. But the big thing is that you want to make sure that you're posting with value, okay? I post when I need to start conversations. When I see 12 comments, I see that's 12 conversations that I can have. The purpose of getting your visibility and getting your engagement up, you need people to respond back to you. So Facebook is it weights a comment more than it weights a like all the time. We always like to say a like is a high five, a love is a hug, a comment is a conversation. Now, at the same time, people need to be responding back to you. Don't just make those conversations because I always like to use this analogy. Say you went on a date with somebody for the first time. You're sitting there and you're asking them a question. So how was your day? And they look at you and they go, good. Okay, so what do you do for work? I work in a dentist office. Dude, that person's boring. Engage with people. Be responsive. Put your energy into it. Take your time to write genuine posts. Take your time to write genuine comments because what you'll find is people respond to genuine much better than just dropping a couple of emojis. Now, every single time you drop some emojis here and there, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You're going to do that every now and then. But take the time to write genuine comments because that's what's going to get people to respond back to you. Facebook favors relationships. So again, if you're building a relationship with somebody, the more comments and conversation back and forth, that's what's going to get your post popping up in the top of their newsfeed. And that kind of goes right back into it. Building relationships is the fourth one. Likes and comments, guys. Focus on commenting back to every single person, okay? When you're scrolling through your newsfeed, if you're not liking and commenting on somebody's content, why are they on your friends list? I will delete those people. If I find myself a couple days in a row scrolling past your post, I delete you. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm savage when it comes to my friends list. But if I'm not engaging in your content, it's because I'm generally not. I don't care who you are. We got 5,000 friends. That sounds like a lot, but it's not. It really isn't. You'll fill that number up super quick. So we have to make sure that we're focusing nonstop on getting as much content out there, but getting content out there with intention. You don't want to just post a post. I'm such a firm believer on this. I'll post twice a day. That's literally. And guys, just rule of thumb, if you're posting more than 4 times a day, I say honestly, if you're posting three times a day should be the limit. You got to figure out when you should post. I post lunch, dinner, and then maybe a post in between lunch and dinner or after dinner. That's the ideal time for me. You have to figure out the best timing to post based off of your friends list. I can't tell you when the best. Yeah, you may be able to post at 3 o'clock in the morning and may be able to get traumatic, crazy, a bunch of response from that. Great, do it. But you have to figure that out on your own. It's trial and error. It's a lot of trial and error. And that all is definitely with you. But interacting is crucial. That's going to get your content popping up in the news feed. And the last thing, cut dead weight. You want to make sure that you're going through and you're cutting those people off. So if you're scrolling through your friends list, all right, and I do this all the time, you see somebody's name that pops up, hey, I have no idea who this person is. They are never liking on your comment or never liking on your content, delete them. They're not seeing your content. If they're not supporting you, they're not supporting your business, they're not supporting your ideas, what you're putting out there, get rid of them. You don't need them to be there. Less is more on Facebook. The less friends that you have, the more engagement you're going to get. Just because you have 5,000 friends, okay, and I get this all the time. Johnny, I got 1,000 friends. I'm getting 20 likes. So if I get to 5,000 friends, then I'm going to get 100 likes, right? No, not by any means. You want to make sure that you're focusing on growing people with intent. I only try to add 5 to 10 people a day. I feel like when you start adding more than that, it actually causes an algorithm. It causes you to push people out that were seeing your posts already. So we want to make sure that we're not overdoing it when we're adding people and deleting people. I try to keep my number about the same. If I add 5, I delete 5. That's kind of what I do, rule of thumb for me. And just so everybody knows, Facebook Story does not weight into your algorithm. You can use Facebook Story all you want. It's not going to affect your algorithm. On Instagram, it does, which we will touch base on here in a minute. But other than that, just make sure you're cutting dead weight and focus on finding people that have attractive profiles. I always try to find people that are going to be liking on content similar to what I'm posting. I think that's kind of a rule of thumb.
I love it. So those are the top 5 tips for Facebook. And, of course, lots of people are trying to use Facebook. It's one of the tools they're trying to use. They're trying to learn it. They're trying to build their business. And so these are just some rapid-fire, incredible tips that you can implement really immediately, which is incredible. So I hope you're taking notes. In fact, if you've gotten a tip that you like so far already, if you've gotten some value from this, show Johnny some love by hitting the like or the love button. And let's continue, Johnny. Let's talk about Instagram for a little bit. So Instagram is, like you said, it was purchased by Facebook. So Facebook owns it. There's some similarities there. But what are if you were to give just a few of your top tips when it comes to Instagram for people that are wanting to learn Instagram, and maybe answer this question too. Do you recommend that people just dive right in and they try to learn all 3? Or do you recommend that they try to learn Facebook, if that's the one they want to learn the most, then go to the next one, like whether it was Instagram or Snapchat or whatever? Or do you recommend they try to learn or get good at one of these at a time, or do multiple all at once? And then also just kind of segue into talking about Instagram.
Sure. That's a big thing. Okay. So like when we got started network marketing, I didn't have the time that I have now. I didn't do it full time. If you're doing network marketing full time, this is all you do, you should try to learn to implement the 3. I would say, even if you're only making a post a day on the 3, or a post a day on Instagram, a post a day on Facebook, Snapchat is a whole different beast. That's something that we're going to talk about it, but there's no algorithm to Snapchat. So you can post as much as you want, and that's what they want you to be doing. But when it comes to Instagram, I'll tell you guys personally, Natalie and I built our Instagrams very massively through the fitness industry. It blew up from the fitness industry. If I was going to put an order of importance on social media platforms, I would say it would go Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. The reason why I say Facebook, if you take all the active users from every social media platform that's out there, I'm talking about Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, MySpace, YouTube, anything that you could possibly think of, okay? Facebook's number is double what every other social media platform is combined. So you're going to get the most interaction from Facebook. Guys, this is so crazy. There's a million profiles that are added every single day on Facebook. 1 million profiles. So when someone says, oh, my market's gone cold on Facebook, I'm like, how? That's not possible. And I'm not talking about 1 million people making separate accounts. No. I'm talking about 1 million brand new people that have never made a Facebook account, period, in their life. There's 1 million people a day that make a Facebook account. And that's just a Facebook account, okay? 12 people per second make a social media account. 6 of those 12 are on Facebook. Facebook is kind of that go-to when it comes to building through social media. I will tell you, guys, I focus more on Facebook. Facebook is what laid the groundwork for all these other social media platforms. It's the most heavily used. Again, I mean, it's the world's second largest search engine. It's the world's second largest video platform. They want you to be utilizing it. Utilize it, very much so. But that being said, I would focus, if you're not great at doing one, focus on perfecting one, because once you perfect one, you can utilize the different routes of it. I was going to say, if I was going to do two, I would focus on either Facebook or Instagram, and then Snapchat, because again, Snapchat's a whole completely different social media platform. It's different in many different aspects. But it also too depends on your market. So like if you're someone that's heavily involved in the fitness industry, I will tell you guys, Instagram blew up because of fitness. This is how much Instagram has influence on the modern day model. Okay, models have been around forever. When I grew up, I remember models. I remember watching Victoria's Secret's fashion show. Okay, I grew up in a house full of women. It was on every year, religious. Had the winter one, had the spring one, had the swimsuit one, whatever. It was always on. These girls were skinny. They were anorexic built women, very, very naturally lean girls. Okay. Look at the Victoria's Secret models. We watched it last year. We disconnected TV this year. Watched it last year. And you look at these girls and they look like the Instagram models. They're curvy. They're voluptuous girls now. Instagram has that much effect to where if it can affect Victoria's Secrets, their models of what they're portraying, it's fitness, okay? It does have influence. So the route is like you got to kind of figure out where your target market's going to come from. Are you going to get more of a feedback from Instagram, more of a feedback from Facebook? We built our Instagrams through fitness. That's what Natalie competed. I've been a prep coach. We've both been personal trainers. That's what we focused on. Both of us built our Instagrams back in the day when it was shout out for shout out. It was Kick. It was utilizing the aspect of building relationships, getting on other people's pages that were big names, and their pages were blowing up. That's how it worked for us. I will tell you guys this: 44 or 46% of the accounts on Instagram are fake. They're not owned by that person who's actually taking those photos. I like to focus on Facebook. Facebook is very particular on how they do things. Now, my Instagram is very personal. Personal in the aspect of I don't really post a lot of business content on there. I post my fitness stuff. That's what I've always posted. That's what it's known for. I don't want to change it up and start posting other stuff. I post some positive mindset quotes. Fitness, I leave it that way. I post once a day on there. That's it. I don't focus on it. I focus on Facebook. That's when our business blew up. My part of the business blew up. Natalie focuses on Instagram. That's where she built her following. That's where she's built her influence. She focuses on Instagram. She gets leads from all three, actually, very much so. But for me, Facebook and Snapchat is the ideal. Now, Instagram, some of the differences. Again, you do want to make sure you're interacting. If you're scrolling through the newsfeed, you need to be liking, you need to be commenting. That is crucial on any social media platform. If you're not engaging in other people, they're not going to engage with you. If you guys are enjoying this video so far, do definitely drop us some likes, drop us some loves. We do appreciate that. And if you do share this, put a little share down there in the comments, so that way we do know that you guys shared it. We'll make sure that we jump back on there and thank you guys afterwards. But we do want to make sure that we're interacting. You want to make sure you're dropping likes. You want to make sure you're commenting all the time. It's very simple with Instagram. You're going through, you're double tapping. You double tap, drop a comment. You want to make sure you tag people on Instagram. So the great thing about Facebook is you can hit reply. It replies to that person and it sends them a notification. You want to make sure that when you are responding or you're replying to somebody through a comment, you are tagging them at and send their name every single time. If you don't do that, it doesn't affect your visibility positively. Instagram story. So guys, Facebook, I'm sure everybody's noticed, Facebook, Instagram, they have this thing called story mode. You basically go through, you can take pictures, you can add filters, you can do like little small clippets, little small videos, whatever it possibly is. The reason why Facebook and Instagram started doing this is because Mark Zuckerberg, being the philanthropist that he is, the entrepreneur that he is, he literally said, you know what? Snapchat's over here making a lot of money. He actually offered Snapchat $5 billion back in 2013 to buy the platform. They declined it. They knew that they were so far ahead and so sophisticated with what they had going on that they wanted to make sure that they were in control of it. Because if it's worth $5 million to Zuckerberg, who's the biggest social media head that there is, it's probably worth like $100 billion to somebody else out there. So they know that. They're not stupid. And I'm pretty sure the stock right now is through the roof. But you want to make sure that you're utilizing the Instagram story. They implemented that from Snapchat because it is extremely easy to use. It's very, very friendly. It's taking pictures. It's posting. It's an awesome feature. It does affect your visibility. So the people that are watching your Instagram story are more likely to see your content popping up in their newsfeed. Plain and simple. And all you got to do is just post a couple times on there. It's got cool icons. If people see your icon towards the front because you're posting on it, they're more likely to see your content popping up in the top of their newsfeed. So it is a good tool. Facebook and Instagram, they both have the same thing. If you actually take a story and you go live, once you go live, it slides your icon to the very, very front. So that is a good little tip. So when you're going live, maybe take a Snap story or take a Facebook story or an Instagram story before you go live, because your icon is going to automatically appear to the very, very front there, so people can click on it and it pulls your live video up automatically. I'm bad about that. I don't use Instagram or Facebook story. I'll be honest. I use Snapchat. So that's just my thing. Hashtags. Facebook does not favor hashtags. Instagram does. I always try to use anywhere between 20 to 29 hashtags every single post on Instagram. And I hashtag as the first comment. I like to post my story, make the post, and if you hashtag in the comments, it still is going to put it in the explore page underneath whatever that hashtag is. So I will always put 20 to 29 comments or hashtags. Hashtags only work if your page is public. It doesn't work if your page is private. I always recommend everybody's page should be public anyways, because you're never going to attract people. I'll tell you guys this, I don't add people that are private. If you're posting friends only, I don't add you. I'll be perfectly honest. Nothing annoys me more than accepting your friend request and getting on your page, and I didn't see that advertisement, and now all of a sudden I'm seeing advertisement. I'm like, wow, okay, that's why they were hiding this. So you don't want to be that. You want people to show. You want to show people you're real, very much so. Want to show people that you're real, and this is the biggest aspect, I think. So this is something I've learned to do, guys. Create unique content for every social media platform. Nobody is ever going to check out your Instagram if you're posting the same stuff that you post on Facebook. I always post different content on Instagram than I do on Facebook. It's very, very prominent, but people will go back. They will check the content, very much so. So we want to make sure that we're putting that different content out there. We're getting different content as much as possible. And if that means that you got to take the time to write an extra story, then do it, because it pays off. And then the last thing is just, again, make sure that you're tagging people when you respond to them. Anytime when you're when you're replying to your own comments, or whether you're replying to other people, always want to make sure you're tagging people. Super crucial aspect. And the hashtags are what's going to get you in the explore page. The more frequently you're in the explore page based off of popularity of your post, the more followers you're going to obtain without having to actually go through and follow people and unfollow people, because it gets to be a pain. I will tell you, I've done it. I've been that person that follows the 7,500. And it's like 2 weeks of unfollowing people to get back down to like a normal number. And I'm like, man, this is terrible. Hey, but it's part of the game. You got to do it, because if you don't go through and you don't follow people, then you're never going to get people to follow you back. The only way that you can get people to follow you back is by being consistent on posting on your hashtags, because people will start to see, oh, wow, I like this guy. Every single time that he's making a post, I'm liking his post. So they'll start following you, but just make sure when people follow you, you get on their page, like and comment on their content, so you start popping up in the top of their newsfeed. I do the same thing on Facebook. When I add somebody, I get on your page, and I'm sure if anybody's on here, if I've accepted you or you've accepted me, I get on your page. I'm gonna Facebook creep you. I'm gonna go through like 10 of your statuses and like and comment on everything, because I'll be honest with you, if I don't like and comment on your content, I'm probably just gonna delete you right then, plain and simple. So that's kind of the two big differences between Facebook and Instagram. My top 5 tips on those two.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. So just to recap a little bit. So one of the things I had to learn the hard way was, and you know, a lot of the stuff that you're talking about already, you know, I took my Facebook followership on my personal page from about 2,000 followers to nearly 20,000 followers in about 90 days, just implementing a couple of the things that you talked about.
That's awesome.
And so I agree with everything so far. One of the things I had to learn the hard way was Facebook doesn't like overposting. So I was so glad that you pointed that out. Also, Facebook doesn't like hashtags. So Instagram, however, does like hashtags. So, you know, multiple hashtags is good on Instagram. But for both platforms, it's always about engaging. It's always about somebody type this in the comments for me. This psychological principle that if you can grasp this, you can earn millions of dollars in network marketing. Here's the psychological principle. Generosity leads to reciprocity. And if you'll apply that concept on social media, what will happen is people will begin to engage with you genuinely and authentically because you're engaging with them genuinely and authentically. And by the way, this works offline too, like in real life, not just on social media. So it transcends, it's the same concept. So generosity leads to reciprocity. It's a real fancy way of saying, hey, I'm going to take an interest in you. And then that person almost feels obligated to take an interest in you, right? So it's a mirror image. Like I'm going to do something for you, and then they kind of feel obligated to do something for me. And it's not something that's spoken. It's just something that innate. It's inherent. It just kind of happens with us as human beings as we interact with each other. So you engage with them, they're going to want to, a lot of times they're going to want to engage with you for that very simple fact. So generosity leads to reciprocity. Let's take 5 minutes and run through, because we are running out of time. I want to talk about Snapchat though, man. Snapchat's not being talked about a lot in the network marketing world. And you just said that it's definitely in your top 3, but you said you would pick either Facebook or Instagram and Snapchat as your top 2. And I'm definitely, I was intrigued. You made a post a while back on your page about Snapchat and some tips. And so that's actually what caused me to start reaching out to you. And I remember I sent you an audio. I used the audio recorder like you're talking about on the Facebook Messenger. And I said, hey man, tell me about your Snapchat tips. And so maybe give your top 5 Snapchat tips.
Sure. So Snapchat is the latest social media platform, very much so. If it's used correctly, it literally can teach you attraction marketing without you even realizing that you're doing attraction marketing. It's extremely beneficial, extremely crucial. Natalie and I probably get 3 to 5, maybe 6, 7 leads a day off of Snapchat. And that's for distributors and for customers. Wow. And it's literally, guys, the great thing about it, we didn't really touch on algorithms. It's an algorithm, basically what it is, it's a supercomputer that sits back and it determines what's going to be seen in your content, what's going to be popping up in your newsfeed. Everything on an everyday basis, if it's an electronic, it runs off of an algorithm. Your stoplights, your Netflix, your TV shows, everything you could possibly think of that's an electronic device runs off of an algorithm. It's how it works. So Snapchat does not have one. The more you snap, the more your content stays at the top of the newsfeed, the more that it stays there at the top of the story mode. So I just real quick, I did not use Snapchat. I didn't use it up until 2 years ago. Jumpman, I sell rare and vintage Jordans. That's my thing. That's a side hustle that I got going on. And I will tell you, I had people that were connecting with me because I originally just started it just to snap shoes and just to put them out there. I reconnected with people through Facebook, some of my old friends, old contacts. And I started having people that have not engaged on my Facebook. I'm talking 6, 7, 8 years that were nonstop blowing me up on Snapchat because they're seeing my stuff. So that's when I was like, wow, okay, so there's something to this. Maybe I need to pay a little bit more attention to it. So I actually got 6 tips here for Snapchat. Add everybody from your other social media platforms. Okay, most people's names pop up at the top. If you see a little ghost icon and a name next to it, it's Snapchat. Add everybody on Snapchat. A little quick hack that I like to tell everybody. This is my second tip. As far as for syncing, there is an option for you to sync your contacts or add people from your contacts, I should say. So the great thing about Facebook and the great thing about iPhone or iOS and with Google or Android, you have the ability to sync your contacts directly from Facebook and from Instagram into your contact list, into your phone. So what I did is I synced my contacts from Facebook into my contact list on my phone. And then I basically just went to my contact list then at that point on Snapchat, and I went through and I individually added everybody who has their number saved on Snapchat because you have to put your number in. So that saves you a tremendous amount of time. Also, the great thing too is you get a snap code. It's a little ghost icon. It's got a bunch of different dots on it all over the place. You can actually add people by their snap codes. You can add people by taking a picture of their snap code. So if I was just I'm sure a lot of people have seen, they've got their snap codes actually on their page as far as for maybe one of their underneath their profile picture on their Facebook. If you're just to pull your Snapchat out and take a picture of that, it'll actually pull it up and prompt you to add them. It's a fancy way of being able to add people. So I always do that. I always sync, and I tell people that's a quick way to add a bunch of friends to your Snapchat, because that's the number one question I think I get asked. How do I build a following on Snapchat? I will tell you guys this. If you guys have watched any of my live videos on my page, I shout my Snapchat out religiously. I tell people as an interaction post, and by the way, I'm going to do it right now. If you're on Snapchat, drop your snap code in the comments. I will make sure I get back on here and I add you. And I add everybody on Snapchat. There's no limit to how many friends you can have. You can add as many people as you possibly want. It's a great thing about Snapchat. I add everybody. The more people that I add, the more people that add you back, the more people that are seeing your content. Very, very plain and simple. Again, no algorithm. The more you post, the more you get seen. I say on average, you should be snapping anywhere between 15 to 30 times per day So the way that we like to snap, I snap all day. I'm talking about it's like anything and everything. I'm snapping it. I'll just snap it. I'm like you, Brandon. I would tell you right now, bro, if I could post on Facebook every hour, I would do it. I was religious about it, and I did that for years. I would post 6 to 8 times a day, and I would post. Okay, it works actually. One of the things they talk about is a 3x3 rule. That's what they want. They want you to post 3 lifestyle posts, 3 everyday posts. So 3 business posts, 3 lifestyle posts. They want you to post 6 times a day. I have learned that that's not what works for me. I have to post. You have to scale it back on Facebook. Facebook doesn't like overposting. They relate that to spamming, and they don't want you to be spamming people with content. And then what happens is your posts start to overlap one another. So if you're posting at 1 o'clock, you're posting at 2, you're posting at 3. By the time you hit 3 o'clock, your 1 and 2 o'clock posts aren't even relevant in the news feed anymore. So if your content is getting seen, if you're getting likes, if you're getting comments, if it's a popular post, don't be so quick to pull the trigger. Oh, I got to post. No, go back there and be building relationships through your comments. I do not build relationships in Messenger. I build relationships in comments. That's my thing. That's how I do it. If you're building a relationship in Messenger, you're not going to get the effects on your visibility. If you're building it in the comments, you're going to get more people seeing your content. Side note, but no algorithm on Snapchat, not by any means. So the more you post, the more it happens. I try to put a business post in every 3 or 4 posts, every 4 to 5 posts, I should say. So for example, I woke up this morning. I take a picture of my supplements that I take every morning whenever I wake up. Then I took a picture of breakfast. I went and grabbed coffee. I took a picture of my coffee. I take a picture of Starbucks itself, maybe take a picture of my favorite barista. And then whenever I get home, I'm taking a picture of breakfast, but I'm taking it with a supplement that could possibly benefit, like maybe our fat fighters or something like that, that helps with meals when you're eating more fats. And I'll take a picture and just throw it out there. I don't even mention, oh, by the way, these are fat fighters and this is what it does. No, you don't mention it. You just put the bottle there. Take a picture and then keep it moving. Then I'm going to take a picture of me in the gym. I'm going to post a picture of me doing this. I'm going to post a picture of me that. Then I'm going to come home and I'm going to post my favorite workout recovery supplement, what I use for recovery. Hey, guys, this is my stack. This is what I use for recovery. Okay? Then I'm going to post Natalie sitting here working, and I'm going to post a picture of her dancing because she just signed up 3 distributors. And, like, I will literally post crazy stuff all the time, nonstop. And then I'm going to post something else, and then I make another business post. So you just got to space your posting out. If it's same thing. If all you're doing is posting business, people are not going to watch your snap. Plain and simple. They want to see you. People want to, I'm going to tell you guys, stop branding your company, brand yourself. Yeah. Because when you brand yourself, you can sell anything. It doesn't matter what company you're a part of. People believe in you. They buy you before they buy a product. People buy into the leader before they buy into the vision. Okay? So focus on being that person that gets your content out there, but puts value out there. And that's when you're going to get people that are going to really fall in love with you. You can add links to Snapchat. So if I post one of those pictures with a product, I can actually go put my link in the URL, take and copy that link. And I can basically write down in it, hey, if you're interested in this product, if I am making a product post, swipe up. They swipe up. It goes directly to that product page, the link. And it's right there for them, and they can go through, they can add it to their cart and check out. You'd be surprised how often you'll get ghost people. You're like, man, where did this customer come from? Hey, man, where did you happen to see that? Oh, bro, I got it on your Snapchat. And I'm like, man, that's so crazy. And this is something, too. I will get people that will see my Snapchat that I'm not friends with on Facebook that will message me on Facebook going, hey, bro, by the way, man, I sent you a message on Snapchat. I'm not sure if you've seen it. I'm interested in that product. I'm interested in that product that you took a snap of. And they'll screenshot it. If you screenshot, it sends you a notification so you know when people are screenshotting your stuff, so you know exactly what it is. And the biggest thing, like I said, it had me engaging in a different group of people. I had people that I went to high school with, middle school with, people that I deleted off my Facebook because they never liked my content. They are on Snapchat, okay? Because people that don't utilize network marketing, that do not need to be on 5 different social media platforms, most people pick the one that they like the most and they stick to it. Yeah. So whether that's Facebook, Instagram, or Snapchat, that's what they're going to do. I will tell you, the nightlife industry, Snapchat is huge because it's quick, it's videos. That's what when you go to the in the nightclubs, nobody talks about Facebook. They oh yeah, man, I checked this in on Facebook. Oh, okay, that's great. Yo, did you check out my Snap? Did you check out my Snap? Did you check out? That's all it is. It's Snap. The nightlife industry thrives off of Snapchat. The DJs, when they're up there in the booth, they're shouting out Snapchat. That's what they don't, hey, y'all want to follow me on Snap. They don't say follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram. It was Instagram for a long time. So I literally put, like, honestly, my order of importance is Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. That's how I look at things, and I think that's kind of the relevancy of where it's falling. The last thing is it does give you behind the scenes. So like I was talking about, Natalie be over here, she just signed a customer. She's over here dancing and she's acting goofy. I'm over here taking a video of her. She's like, really, are you videoing me? And I'm like, yeah, I am. Like, but it's behind the scenes. It shows real. People fall in love with real. They don't want to see some fake or some perfect life. They want to see that you guys are out and you're acting the fool and that you're being goofy and that you're being yourself, because that's what makes people fall in love with you. And I will actually make posts on Facebook and say we're going to Comic-Con. I'll make a post. Hey, guys, we're going to Comic-Con, and whenever I check us in there, hey, if you guys are interested in following our journey, these are our Snapchats. Follow our journey on Snap, and I will post my life away. Guys, let me tell you what. I want to find one of you people that go to a theme park. I will watch that, every bit of that clip. I love theme parks. I want to go to them. Go to Disney World, and I'm gonna see every single ride that you went on. I'm gonna be able to tell you about the whole park, because it's interesting, and that's stuff that people want to see. So when you're doing something that's interesting, that you want to be taking nonstop photo, post it on Snapchat. People will watch it. Plain and simple. Those are the days when I end up having almost 400, 500, 600 views on videos, and it's unreal. But that's kind of my take on Snapchat, and I feel the order of importance with that.
I love it, man. You've done such a great job of branding yourself. Like I talked about in the beginning of this video, from the moment I saw your name, I thought, this cat is different. There's something unique about him. There's something that draws me to him, and it's just the jump man. You know what I mean? Like, I could tell that you had done a great job branding yourself through social media. So, man, congrats on all your success, and congrats on everything.
Thanks, Brandon.
And yeah, so any closing? We're running out of time here. Any closing thoughts? Any closing comments on social media?
Big thing, guys, is so we always say that money's made in Messenger. I will agree with that. Money is made in Messenger. I do not spend most of my time in Messenger. I close out sales in Messenger, or I'm still old school and I want to pick up the phone. I want to call people. That's what I want to do. Don't spend all your time in Messenger, because if you're doing that, what ends up happening is you become a slave to your phone. Okay, you're not. There's nothing that is algorithm, that is interaction producing in Messenger. Now, does Messenger play into the weight? Yes, it is going to help. I'm sure we've all noticed. You rekindle a friendship with somebody you haven't talked to in years, and all of a sudden their content will pop up in your news feed. Yes, it does. But this is one thing that I've learned. When you're focusing on building relationships in the comments and you're getting your value out there and people are seeing that value, you're going to build a following that way. Because I will get on somebody's post, I will comment, and I will like, and I will comment. I will put my 2 cents in. I will really, really focus on building that solid foundation in the comments. And by doing that, other people see it. When you're in Messenger, you're private. When you're in the comments, you're public. So you're going to build a relationship with people. You're going to put that value out there. You're going to connect with people and get people to follow you and be interested. Because if you're over here and you're putting yourself out there, you're putting that value out there, people are going to click on your page. They're going to scroll through. Hey, what is this guy up to? What does he do? What's going on over here? They're going to click that follow button. They're going to send you a friend request. That is one of the quickest ways I can tell you guys to build a following. And at the end of the day, just remember, and I preach this, leadership is influence. So no matter what it is that you're doing in life, if you're a likable person, you're going to be building influence. Stay positive, block the haters out, and you just got to make sure that no matter what it is you're doing, post with intent on helping people. If you're going to be making a post that's not going to be helping people, you don't need to be making that post. Every post I make, I literally, how is this post going to help somebody? If it's not going to be helping people, you probably don't need to be making that post. Know what you're posting. Don't just post a post. And at the end of the day, social media is fun. Keep it fun. It shouldn't have to be when you're waking up every day going, God, I got to make post again. Like, that's not fun. You know, and when you take the fun out of it, guess what happens? You find yourself going into management mode. And when you go into management mode, we all know what happens there. Your business isn't going to grow. When it's fun, it's productive, you're leading by example, you're building an influence, you're having a good time. And again, use social media for the aspect that it needs to be used for. Be social. Biggest thing I can say.
Love it.
Perfect.
I love it, man. Johnny Jumpman, my friends, let's show him some love, whether you're watching this on the replay in the Game of Networking group, whether you're watching it because somebody invited you or shared it with you and you're watching live. Be sure and give Johnny Jumpman some love down in the comments, and hit that like button, hit the love button, because the value given here has been incredible. One of my best definitions that I can give of success, when people ask me all the time, they say, Brandon, what's your definition of success? And, there's lots of great definitions of success. And one of them, Winston Churchill, he said, success is going from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm. Man, how eloquent is that? How incredible is that? Another great definition of success is success is the progressive realization of a dream. But you know what success is to me? Johnny Jumpman just said it a second ago when he's talking about social media and how to properly utilize it to grow your business. And it's this: success for me is adding the maximum amount of value to the maximum amount of people possible. If I've done that, then I've become successful. And Johnny Jumpman has added tons of value here. So let's show him some love. We appreciate you guys. We love you for tuning in. We'll see you next time at the Game of Networking Group. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.